Okay, so now I'm going to delete all the sample data on my Joomla site. If you were one of the people that chose to have the sample data installed, sometimes that's just, it depends on how you installed Joomla actually, on whether or not you're going to have this stuff. And usually you're given the option to install it or not, and if you click yes, that's just fine. That's going to give you a lot of content like this that you can dig through and actually read some and learn about Joomla, okay? And it also will kind of set up, a basic navigation for you, and like search function, these things here, login, and of course they got like some Joomla links in here. Just right off the bat, some sample data installed. Sometimes you'll have the sample websites installed, which I think right now are about an Australian park and some fruit, like a fruit shop. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to get rid of everything. Okay, and if you're one of the people that chose not to install all the sample data, you probably don't need to worry about this step. But go ahead and follow along, because I'm going to go through a whole lot of how Joomla works at the same time. Okay, so how, actually I'm going to go back to my page here. How Joomla manages content is there are categories. For example, I'm going to have some tree categories like deciduous trees and coniferous trees. Okay, and then within those categories are articles. And those, like for example, on my tree site, I'll have coniferous trees as a category, and then an article that would be a coniferous tree would be one about Douglas firs. Okay, and so you have and articles, for example, Douglas firs, that can either be, that's just a chunk of content, right? An article, and you can have one article on one web page as a single article web page, or you can have multiple articles on a single page. For example, here's an article for beginners, here's an article about upgraders, here's one about professionals, and if you click on this, it's going to take you to a single article just about this content. Okay, so there's categories, and there's articles, and then there's menus. Okay, and here's menu items. That's just your navigation. Okay, where are they sitting? They're sitting in these little blocks everywhere. Those are called modules. All right, and we're going to go over this slowly over the next few weeks, right? But for now, I want to just let you know what categories, articles, menus, and modules are, all these blocks, because we're going to delete all that stuff right now and get a fresh empty Joomla going. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to delete all my articles. So up here, Article Manager, and whoops, I need to select all my published articles. Okay, and here's the list of all the articles, and you see there's a lot of articles here that are sample data. For example, here's something about wonderful watermelons and who's online. Okay, all the different there's that one professionals that we saw right there. That article is this article, professionals. Okay, we're going to delete all this stuff. Now you can filter this. For example, I filtered it to my published articles. You can also view your unpublished articles, which are articles that are created but not viewable online. Okay, and then we have ones that are trashed, and that's what we're going to do right now, is trash them. You can, of course, select all these different categories, but we're going to get rid of all of our categories. So for now, let's go ahead and just get rid of everything. So you go up here to this checkbox, check them all, and just trash them. Over here, hit trash. Okay, now they've all been trashed. Now I'm going to go over to the next tab here, articles. I could also go over here to content, category manager. Sorry, article categories. Sorry about that. So yeah, so there's two ways to get there. You can go to content, category manager, or just category here. And again, mine was set to trashed because I was messing around earlier. Yours will probably look like this, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select them all, make sure they're all displayed, because you see how you can display 5, 10, 15, 20, blah, blah, blah. Just have them set to all here, just in case you're only looking at like 5 articles or 5 categories or something. Go ahead and check that and make sure that you're viewing all of them. And check that box and trash them. Goodbye, all those categories. Okay, so now I've gotten rid of all of those. Okay, so all of our articles are gone, right? Yep, all of our published articles are gone. All of our published categories are gone. Yep. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get rid of all the modules, because there's just so many modules in there. Now, Once you start to get more familiar with Joomla, having a lot of these modules in there actually is really helpful, but we're going to just recreate them all as we go along throughout the course. So I'm going to go ahead and just check that and trash all the modules. Okay, so now we have no more modules. All right, now I'm going to go over to Menu Manager, and I'm going to trash all the menus. Now, there's a good chance that your menu manager, you have a whole bunch of menus here. You might have like user menu, top menu, bottom menu, footer menu, like, all kinds of different menus here. It depends on how you install Joomla. Go ahead and just check every single one of those but the main menu and trash them all, okay? Or delete them, okay? Yeah, go ahead and anything that you see that doesn't say main menu, okay? We're going to get rid of everything, but we want one main menu. So if you have a whole bunch of menus here, go ahead and get rid of all of them, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on my main menu. Okay? And the main menu has, 11 different menu items on it, okay? And by the way, that's this one right here, home, sitemap, login, sample sites, site administrator, example pages, right? You can see that right here, home, sitemap, login, sample pages. We're going to get rid of all this stuff except for the home, okay? And the home is actually, you can't delete it, so let's go ahead and just try. I'm going to hit check them all, okay? And go over here and trash them. And it's going to give me a little error that says you can't delete the home. See that? Cannot unpublish default home, but it did all the rest. So now what we have is the most bare Joomla site that we can possibly have, okay? And let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hit refresh, okay? You can, refresh right here. It depends on the browser you're in. You can hit Command R, Command R on a Mac, right? You can also just shut it down, and when you're back here, go ahead and click View Site, and it will automatically show you a refreshed version of your Joomla site. And let's do that. And look at that. That is one empty Joomla site. There is nothing there at all, okay? And that's where we want to be. Now, some of you might just have had this already, and you got to skip this part. Some of you might have had a whole mess of stuff in here. And it doesn't matter. Don't worry. You can't really mess this up. Just delete all of your articles, all of your categories. Let's see. So yes, all your articles, all your categories. Delete all your modules. Okay, and then go over to menu and delete all of your menus. Okay, except for your main menu. And then when you go into your main menu, delete everything in there, okay? And it won't let you delete your home because you have to have a home, okay? And so this is where we want to be. And from here, all we're going to start doing is adding our own categories, articles, modules, and menu items. And yeah, that's how we're going to set up our websites. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.